Hi guys, Rafael Marcolino here, and welcome to Sapiens every week with a new drum lesson for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to sign up to the mailing list, where you receive every week the lesson link with a PDF containing transcriptions of every exercise I show on the lessons. Follow Sapiens on Instagram, on Facebook, so you don't miss any of the lessons that I'm posting every week. In this lesson, I'm going to show you a tool that helps me a lot when I'm feeling stuck with my creativity. I've always played on bands that work on new music, and sometimes when we are writing a new song and I'm working on a new drum arrangement for a song, sometimes I feel stuck. I feel that all my grooves sound the same. I feel that the drum part of the song is not evolving as I want. So displacing the backbeats of a groove sometimes is a great tool for me to unleash my creativity, to try new things when I'm without good ideas to figure out new drum parts. So first I'm gonna play a very simple groove, and then I'm gonna show you a few different ways that I like to displace the backbeat that are very simple ways just to make the groove sound different and make you feel different when playing basically the same groove. But with a very simple shift, you make it sound completely different. But first I'm gonna play a straight groove with a backbeat on 2 and 4, just for you to listen to what I'm gonna change with those displacements. Okay, so for the first example, I'm gonna displace the backbeat on 2 to 1/8 note after. So we're gonna play the first backbeat, the first snare drum of the groove, on the end of 2, not on the 2 anymore. That's not really hard to play in terms of coordination, because we will be still playing the snare with the right hand that we are playing the hi-hat on 8 notes throughout the whole bar. But just that simple changing the snare drum from the downbeat of 2 to the upbeat of 2 makes the groove sound completely different. Check it out. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the snare that's coming on the downbeat of 4. Now we're gonna play the first backbeat on 2, but we're gonna displace the backbeat on 4 to 1/8 note after. So we're gonna play the second backbeat on the end of 4. Check it out. The cool thing is that it's really simple to do that. It's a very simple shift to make. But now we have 3 completely different grooves with just 2 simple movements. So we have the first groove that I played with the backbeat on 2 and 4. We have the second groove with the backbeat on 2 displaced to the end of 2, and then we have the third groove with the backbeat on 4 displaced to the end of 4. And sometimes it's cool to have a groove repeating all the time with backbeats displaced, but sometimes that sounds too busy, and I like to use that most of the times. Instead of playing a feel during a part, I like to create those small changes in the groove so you don't make it too busy, or you don't break completely the groove by playing a fill. Sometimes it's a verse that is going to repeat, or a chorus that you want a very small change in the middle of it to create that change to a different part or a different repetition. So I like to use those tools as ways to create those changes, not playing fills all the time. Sometimes that feels more musical to me. So now I'm gonna take those two examples and I'm gonna play different sequences of the groove, the main groove, using those displacements as details to create those changes, for you to understand what I'm talking about with the way I like to use those displacements when playing. Check it out. Now I'm going to show you two more examples, but displacing the backbeats in a different way. Instead of 8th notes, we're going to displace them using 16th notes. So in terms of coordination, it's going to get a little bit more complicated, but it's not complicated at all. And because the snare, the displaced snare is not going to be played together with the right hand anymore. It's going to be played in between the notes that we are playing on the hi-hat. So the first example is going to be 1/16th note before the downbeat of 2. So now our first backbeat's not gonna be played on 2, it's gonna be played on the 4th 16th note of beat 1, that it's coming between the end of 1 and the downbeat of 2. Check it out. And for our last example, I'm gonna displace the backbeat on 4 to 1/16th note after. So it's gonna come in between the downbeat of 4 and the end of 4. Check it out. But as I said, I like to use those displacements to create some kind of change when I'm playing the same groove all the time. So now I'm gonna take those 4 examples and I'm gonna improvise different sequences of those grooves, of the same groove, but with those displacements, for you to see that with a really simple tool, with a really simple concept, it feels that my playing is a lot more complex. But actually, as you saw, it's a very simple way to create those changes in a very simple groove. And you can use those tools in basically any groove that you are playing. You can try to displace those backbeats with other subdivisions, and you can try different grooves with different original backbeat placements, and the possibilities are endless. But I'm gonna take those 4 examples and I'm gonna improvise them over the main groove for you to understand how do I like to apply those ideas. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Don't forget to subscribe to the mailing list. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, to follow on Instagram, on Facebook, and I see you next week.